Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the weekly comic book roundup. We covered this week's X-Men books as well as a couple others. Now it's time to move on. This week's Avengers books, as well as our Dark Crisis times. Kicking things off, we've got Avengers Forever number 7. So where we left off, Robbie Reyes, now the All-Rider, is working with a handful of heroes from one of the Earths taken over by multiversal Masters of Evil. And it does appear from this issue that they're building an army of Avengers. So this issue, we basically, you got a prison. Every cell has someone. Everyone in this prison appears to share the same name, Steve Rogers, including, I might add, the dog. One of the Steves every day runs at the door that opens, jumps out into nothingness, always comes back beaten up. One of the Steves keeps to himself. Eventually, the one who's constantly trying to run out the door convinces another one who's an artist to join him. Then the dog joins them as well, and soon most of them are trying, and finally the what has been keeping to himself steps out of his cell and reveals himself to be a combination of Cap, Nuke, and Wolverine. And from day 33 onward, they all day 33, when they all make it out, they all apparently are attacked by, well, shields, and they catch them. And they're informed that they just passed the first stage of boot camp by a group of other than Captain America. We've got a Cap Wolf. We've got one that Imagine Good by the Captain. Sir America, I would guess. He looks like a knight, but yeah. Captain Ape America and Chibi Cap. But the All-Rider knows that they don't have enough. They're going to need more. And Weapon America is identified as being Weapon America. But and Deathlock has detected Steve Rogers on another Earth. Apparently, records of that Earth show he never lifted his shield. Instead, he became a drifter who was accidentally caught in a gamma bomb explosion. And Tony Stark, the Invisible Ant-Man, says that's the Steve Rogers he'd like to meet. And that is where the issue ends. I'm digging. I'm really liking this series. I'm liking the arc, especially as much as I did enjoy kind of the side story from the main Avengers title that started to kick the series off. I'm liking these kind of just one-off issues that still refer to the events of that first arc, bringing in more multiversal Avengers. So, moving on to our next book, we've got Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty number 2. Where we left off, Captain America and some fellow World War II veterans, referred to as Radio Company, discovered a cryptic message, while Bucky revealed that, to the readers, knowledge of hidden conspiracy concerning the Shield. So we open up. Steve's written a sent a note to Bucky. Bucky's been quiet for a while, and well, Steve's worried, especially when because they usually, if they're not talking, it means that there's secrets. And, well, but radio company is constantly continuing to translate messages. They appear to be sent between um, 6 people: power, money, love, revolution, and machine. With one of them stating that it kind of feels like a game, with the messages being, for example, power. NATO withdrawal from Samkaria border region. Move 002. Money. BCB interest rates down. Market crisis point T minus 2 months. Move 003. And so on and so forth. But the last message that they look at, secure the from machine, secure the forge. They're not entirely sure what it means. Captain America, Steve, while having drinks with some of his art school friends, tells him what's been going on, and it mentions he's been carrying the shield for decades. He never knew who designed it, and one of them looks it up. Dr. David Agboy, or Agboji. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Was listed as the shield's designer on the old requisition paperwork, and then Myron McLean did the actual industrial design. But there's little information on Dr. Agboji. I'm not, again, yeah. Later, Steve's still training one of his neighbors on to fight. And the boy mentions the forge. So Steve asks, and apparently kid's mom's an electrician, total nerd for energy stuff. Explains it's a power plant, it's a power station in Germany, came online a week previously. And so Steve goes to investigate, and turns out that an armed group has taken the workers at the forge hostage. Cap swings into action, notes a few things: Hydra symbology, Kusarigama techniques of a hand ninja, kinetic resistant fabric of an aim and counter suit, all in the same uniform, and even a shield stamped dagger. But Cap deals with the troops and their backup. When an airship arrives, 5 of the 6 vote to redact. The machine, the money, the power, and the revolution, while love abstains. With the redaction being a robot soldier that attacks Captain America, and however the issue ends with Bucky and Madripoor being kicked out, going to a high rollers baccarat table where Peggy Carter is dealing while undercover, and Bucky explains that he's meeting her where she lives in the shadows, because that's where the real war is being fought. A war as old as either of them. 5 soldiers, 5 points of the star, all fighting for one mysterious cause. And Peggy's one of them. So Bucky asks, who does Peggy Carter really work for? And that is where the issue ends. The plot thickens, and it is definitely getting interesting. I don't think I've. To be fair, I don't think there's been a run on Captain America I've been reading since the Brubaker arc began, or 15 years ago, that I didn't like. That isn't to say I read all of them, but what ones I have for at least read parts of, I liked. Moving on to our next book, we've got Jane Foster the Mighty Thor #2. I wonder if this is going to be an ongoing, seeing as how it does have legacy numbering. But anyway, where we left off, Asgard was under attack by all of its greatest foes, and Thor was nowhere to be found. And Mjolnir crashed through Jane Foster's window. And so, the spirit of Odin tells Jane what happened with Mjolnir. Thor was taking a brief respite from his kingly duties when something happened. A deer he was chasing turned into a centaur who fired arrows at him. As the arrows struck, Thor opened a portal and threw Mjolnir through it. Turns out that Algrim has ordered the forces under his command attacking Asgard to kill Sif. When Runa the Valkyrie shows up, somewhat turning the tide of the battle. Meanwhile, Jane has gone to Bourbon Street in search of Dr. Voodoo, wanting to know about an arrowhead that she found. While, however, the Asgardian forces are distracted by taking care of Algrim's forces, or Algrim's attacking forces, Enchantress takes out the Valkyrie Hildebrand and goes into basically to hide. But Dr. Voodoo explains the significance of the arrowhead. It's made of promethium, which is from Limbo. And it's explained Limbo cannot exist without its promethium. A small piece like the shard Jane has brought will not cause it to vanish completely, but it will create instability. So Dr. Voodoo thinks something went wrong, and that was not supposed to enter their dimension. Forces of Limbo will likely come for Jane to get it back. So Jane figured it's possible that that's where Thor is, Limbo. Turns out Odin knows how to get to the Splinter Realms. However, one of the towers of Asgard is knocked down by Ulik and his troll army, who then charge out. Enchantress takes down the vault guard, and the ship arrives for Jane, Skidbaldnir. And so she boards by alone and heads to Limbo. Enchantress, meanwhile, goes after the real prize of the attack: the keys to Hell. As Jane arrives in Limbo, she's asked some questions of the librarian. However, the questions are interrupted by the arrival of Demon Sim. So I have to wonder if this is before or after the recent events in New Mutants involving Limbo. Guess we'll find out next month. That is where the issue ends. The story's definitely getting interesting. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is an ongoing or or just a miniseries to kind of capitalize off of Thor: Love and Thunder. I guess we'll find out. But moving on to our next book, we've got Dark Crisis, #2. Where we left off, after the death of the Justice League, Superman, John Kent, opted to form a new Justice League, and Deathstroke led an attack on Titan's Tower, and during which he shot Beast Boy in the face. So we open with Pariah seemingly justifying his actions. Before going back to Titan's Tower, and the surprise attack definitely is definitely doing the trick. Raven is currently being tortured. It seems that Roy's been taken prisoner. Most of the other Titans are also busy with the other villains. But Deathstroke challenges Nightwing to a fight. And, round one of it, seemingly Deathstroke wins. With Hyena telling Nightwing that if Nightwing takes down Deathstroke again, he's going to gut one of the students, though Deathstroke tells him says not to, and then basically states who should Slade then asks who he should fight for round 2, and so Dick basically says asks if you kill me, he says you'll kill me, you'll let everyone go, and Slade explains that Dick was always the trophy. Why waste his time on anyone else? And so, Nightwing drops his sticks, holds his hands out, and says, let's get it over with. And just as he fires, Superman arrives, taking the shot, with Dick stating that John's got his dad's timing. And so it's Superman and Nightwing against the Secret Society, which gives which distracts the Titans enough to give Nightwing that moment to have Cyborg and Starfire and get everyone off the island. But Slade's prepared for Kryptonian intervention, and the Cyborg Superman shows up. And takes on John. However, Slade tries to justify things to Nightwing, stating that this is bigger than him, bigger than either of them. We've lost so much, there's much misery. The darkness's hold begins to slip, but then it reclaims control. And this actually gives Nightwing pause, but Slade has new orders. Bring the Dark Army to him. And so Deathstroke orders Warp to get everyone out of there, while Superman and Cyborg Superman continue to duke it out, with Cyborg stepping in to provide an assist for Superman. He's tired of Hank Henshaw giving Cyborg a bad name. After the villains have left, Black Adam shows up, saying that John Kent isn't ready to lead the Justice League. But he was wrong about Nightwing. While Deathstroke may have led the attack, the blame for the tragedy falls at Nightwing's feet, according to Black Adam. Superman asked where he was, and he was saying, if he's so great, wasn't he leading Justice League after Deathstroke? Which is apparently exactly Black Adam's intent. Adding that Deathstroke's forces laid siege to Kahndaq, the attacks were worldwide. He says that he has no choice but to agree with John that it is his burden to lead this team. But he will turn them into the protectors that they should have always been. The kind of force this world needs. In space, there's a breakout on a prison ship by none other than Kyle Rayner, who is intercepted on his way out of the ship by Hal Jordan and Sojourner Mulligan. Or Joe Mulligan. Okay, Mulligan. Alright. Hal tells Kyle what's happened in the League. And apparently Hal brought a ring for Kyle. And he's got the Corps backing him up. And that is where the issue ends. I'm glad I'm glad they're bringing Kyle back, and we haven't seen Kyle Rayner in too damn long. At least not in any kind of spotlight DC book. Moving on to our last book for the moment, though, we've got the Flash number 783, which ties it the Dark Crisis tie-in. Barry Allen's missing. He has been for quite some time, and so Wally's trying to find him, including going to trying to get help from Mr. Terrific. And so the Flash, Wally West, as well as Jay Garrick, Kid Flash, Wallace West, Max Mercury, and I believe that she's going by Jesse Quick, plan to go looking for Barry. They utilizing a device that Mr. Terrific has created for them. Linda and the kids are there to say goodbye to Wally. And of course, Jay and Iris want to join them, and they snag two of the wristbands and actually do go off in the multiverse. But Wally says goodbye to Linda, and the speedsters head into the portal. After they're gone, Mr. Terrific asks Linda when her powers manifested, and how long it's been since her powers manifested, and she's told Wally she hasn't. Meanwhile, Jay and Iris arrive in a world that seems to be run by Barry, with the speedster coming up behind them. Max Mercury and Jesse Quick end up on a post-apocalyptic world with seemingly Barry Allen and a Thunderbird coming at them, being followed by what appears, well, a couple tanker trucks, a jeep, and some motorcycles, or a four-wheeler and a motorcycle. But it seems Barry is is still in the fantasy dimension that was created for him by Pariah. And Wallace and Wally have both arrived there, wondering just what the hell's going on. And that is where the issue ends. Interesting so far. The hunt for Barry Allen. I'm assuming that I guess it's number 785, which is the last Flash tie-in. Will have Barry return just enough to help with the end of Dark Crisis. But that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.